Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. So let's kick off your top 5 news with a strongly worded message from the GOP to Iran. Now, last week, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu spoke before a mostly Republican audience about the need to not make a nuclear deal. Now, GOP leaders are warning Iran if they cut a deal with this administration, then as soon as the president is out of office, it will be repealed. So here's what the president had to say in response to all this.
Well, I think it's somewhat ironic to see some members of Congress wanting to make common cause with the hardliners in Iran. It's an unusual coalition. I think what we're going to focus on right now is actually seeing whether we can get a deal or not.
Well, the vice president also expressed his disapproval of the letter, saying he had never seen something like it. All right, guys, in other news, more changes for Ferguson, Missouri. An appeals court judge has been appointed to take over Ferguson's municipal court and make reforms. This comes, of course, after a less than flattering U.S. Department of Justice report that was released last week. Now, the report, of course, was prompted by the fatal shooting of unarmed teen Michael Brown. The judge has been tasked with restoring the integrity of the system in the community and also has the authority to overhaul any policies should he need to. Now on to the continuing trial of the accused Boston Marathon bomber Dzhokhar Tsarnaev. So you are seeing new video right here that the FBI has released. It really stitches together the exact movements of the brothers and appears to show when Tsarnaev put the backpack down, a phone call between the two, and then moments after the first blast when Tsarnaev makes his exit. Now, prosecutors also detailed in court his moments after the blast, how he stopped by a Whole Foods to get some milk, and how the night after the bombings he was actually partying with friends. The trial continues today. And as protests continue in Wisconsin for 19-year-old Tony Robinson, who was killed by a white police officer last Friday, Robinson's family is speaking out.
We need to change our mindset about the police, and that starts with procedural action as opposed to just singling out all the police officers as negative, because they're a necessary entity in our society. We trust them to handle this with integrity and to treat it as it comes. We don't want our biases involved. We don't want anybody else's. We want them to act as strictly as fact finders. And that's what they've assured us. And we believe in, and we have confidence in that.
You know, the family says they don't want protests to focus on anti-law enforcement, and they just want people to remain peaceful. And lastly, our top 5 headlines. So the military is hoping they could learn a thing or two from this lady. Now, if you remember, this is Charla Nash. She's the woman who was horribly disfigured by her friend's chimpanzee in 2009. And although she never served in the military, the Pentagon is watching her closely, hoping to learn about how to help soldiers who come back from war seriously disfigured. Now, Nash says she feels satisfied knowing the research might be able to help wounded veterans. And here's something interesting. So the military actually paid for her face transplant back in 2011 and has been paying for her continued treatment. You know, this woman has been through so much. She is a fighter in every single sense of the word.
She's blind in everything.
She really is, but she said, you know, sometimes she feels like she's a little bit of a science lab rat, but again, she's so thankful and fortunate that it's going towards someone in need. It's helping all these wounded warriors. So she really is an inspiration, to say the least.
We talked about this yesterday, how you can turn a situation around, and she's a clear example of that.
Yeah,
she
the
really
definition of a fighter right there.
Yes, fantastic woman right there. So hopefully the military can help others.
Yeah.